When the United States entered World War II after the attack on Pearl Harbor in December 1941, it faced an enormous challenge, mobilizing a massive military and industrial effort from a position of relative unpreparedness. Despite its eventual role as the arsenal of democracy, America was caught off guard and underprepared in many ways when war erupted. Understanding why the U.S. was so unready sheds light on the complexities of its transition from isolationism to global superpower. Isolationism and public sentiment. One of the biggest reasons for American unpreparedness was the widespread isolationist sentiment that dominated the country throughout the 1930s. The trauma of World War I and the Great Depression led many Americans to oppose involvement in overseas conflicts. The prevailing attitude was America first, a desire to focus on domestic issues and avoid foreign entanglements. Congress passed laws like the Neutrality Acts, designed to keep the U.S. out of war. Public opinion polls consistently showed opposition to entering another European conflict. This political climate limited funding and support for military expansion. Economic constraints and the Great Depression. The Great Depression left the U.S. economy severely weakened throughout the 1930s. With widespread unemployment and poverty, there was little appetite for large defense budgets or military buildup. The government prioritized economic recovery and social programs over military spending. Military budgets were cut to minimal levels during much of the 1930s. Industrial capacity was not fully geared toward war production. Underestimation of the threat. Many American leaders underestimated the scale and immediacy of the Axis threat. There was a belief that the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans provided natural barriers protecting the U.S. The rise of Nazi Germany and Imperial Japan was seen as a distant problem. Intelligence and military assessments often downplayed the possibility of direct attacks on American soil. The surprise attack at Pearl Harbor starkly revealed these miscalculations. Limited military infrastructure. When war broke out in Europe in 1939, the U.S. military was small and outdated compared to the massive forces mobilizing overseas. The Army was limited in size, equipment, and training. The Navy and Air Force were also relatively small and lacked modern aircraft carriers and bombers. Many soldiers had outdated weapons like the M1903 Springfield rifle, and armored units were limited. Slow industrial mobilization. Before the war, American industry was focused on civilian goods, not military hardware. Factories needed time to convert from peacetime production to war materials. Supply chains had to be developed for raw materials and components. Skilled labor had to be recruited and trained for war production. Political and bureaucratic hurdles. Mobilizing a wartime economy required coordination between government, military, and private industry, which initially faced challenges. There was bureaucratic resistance and competition among branches of the military. Convincing businesses to switch to war production took time. War agencies and coordination offices were created only after the U.S. entered the war. The turning point, Pearl Harbor. The attack on Pearl Harbor shattered any remaining illusions of safety and urgency. It galvanized the American public and leadership, spurring a massive and rapid military buildup. The creation of agencies like the War Production Board to oversee industrial conversion. The draft and training of millions of soldiers. From this moment, the U.S. transformed itself into the arsenal of democracy and a decisive force in World War II. Conclusion. From unpreparedness to victory. The U.S. entered World War II with many weaknesses born of isolationism, economic hardship, and misjudgment. Yet, these challenges were overcome through unprecedented mobilization and national resolve. The story of American unpreparedness highlights how difficult it is for a nation to shift gears so rapidly, but also underscores the remarkable capacity for adaptation and growth in the face of crisis.